As the railroad industry grew, migration west increased as the Homestead Act promised new opportunities with new land in the West.
Eager to make money, farmers and miners settled in land, most of which was occupied by natives.
Hey, I heard if we settle in the West, we'll get free land and more opportunities.
Yeah, and it's a gold rush. That'll make us rich.
That settles it. We're going to the West.
Hey, watch it!
Yeah, this is our land.
Not if there's gold here.
Welcome to our new home.
But we were here first. This is not fair.
Yeah, we're gonna fight for our land.
Yes, we will! Oh!
There were many land disputes between farmers and miners and the Native Americans. The Indians were constantly getting their land taken over by the new people coming to the West, which eventually led to all the Indian Wars. They were getting fed up with the people just pushing them around and decided that they needed to start fighting back. The Battle of Little Bighorn is known to be one of the only battles where the American Indians defeated the American troops. This upset Americans and made them more eager to win other wars.
As a native, our last effort is the ghost dance. Hopefully, that will save us from the bullets.
The Native Americans used this as a last resort to get rid of the Americans fighting against them. This was their nonviolent way of trying to accomplish what they want.
You guys can't hurt me. I have blessed armor.
The Dawes Severalty Act's main purpose was to get Native Americans to be more civil and fit into American culture. The Americans split up the tribes and set up schools to make them more civil.
Listen here, you uncultured savages. This is what we live by.
Along with the problems with the natives, there were many farming problems. As producers, farmers became more dependent on large and expensive machines, and farmers who were unable to buy these machines soon ran out of business. Increased American production caused the prices for wheat, cotton, and other crops to decrease, and many farmers went into depression and were very angry. In addition, local and state governments taxed property and land heavily, but did not tax income from stocks and bonds. Farmers were very angry that they were being taxed unfairly for the benefit of the industrialists.
I'm a farmer, and now I have to make more product to pay off my old debt. And honestly, it's just causing more debt. And banks are closing, and the nation is falling.
No more taxes! No more taxes! You don't control us. We farmers control ourselves.
In the last half of the 19th century, the U.S. population has tripled. It went from 23.2 million in 1850 to 76.2 million in the 1900s. The arrival of 16.2 million immigrants fueled the nation's growth. The introduction of large steamships and the relatively inexpensive one-way passage in the ship's steerage made it possible for millions of poor people to travel.
Wow, I'm so excited to be here and have a new opportunity in life. Oh, sorry.
Why are you even in this country?
I'm here to work for my family and live in better conditions.
You're taking people's jobs that live here and belong. It's just not right.
The hostility to the Chinese and other new immigrants came primarily from the western states because they were so angry that they were taking jobs.
Due to these issues in the West, Congress has decided to implement a new act, which is the Chinese Exclusion Act, placing a ban on all new immigrants from China. We are also placing a ban on paupers, convicts, and criminals as immigration to America.
I agree with Congress. This is exactly what our country needs.
This is so unfair. What do we ever do wrong?
Efforts to restrict immigrations were supported by diverse groups such as labor unions because they feared employers would use immigrants to depress wages and break strikes. The entire Native Society and social Darwinists also viewed immigrants as biologically inferior. In the midst of all this, however, urbanization was thriving along with industrialization. Shift in population from rural to urban became more obvious with each passing decade. There was a change in women's rights, religion, society, and everything being developed in America at the same time. The change from an agricultural to an industrial economy and from rural to urban living profoundly affected all areas of American life, including education, sciences, literature, art, and entertainment.
Due to all these changes and our nation finally becoming more urban, I finally have the chance to have that higher education. And oh my God, look at this painting by George Bellows!
Hey, what song is this?
This is Scott Joplin.
It's Maple Leaf Rag. You haven't heard of it?
Due to these changes, we have more time to have fun and explore. More leisure activities.
The rise of the Gilded Age was affected mostly during the time period of 1877 to 1900. America's wealth grew due to the increase in industrialization and urbanization. With this increase in wealth, Congress took action by issuing a budget of $1 billion. This increased silver coinage for farmers and everyday workers and also allowed an increase in monthly payment pensions to Civil War veterans, widows, and children. In addition, there was an increase in tax on foreign products.
We should make a budget of $1 billion and increase tax rates on foreign products. And we should also increase the coinage of silver.
Yeah, although it might increase the coinage of silver, it's not enough to satisfy the farmers such as myself, but it's better than nothing.
I agree. I'm excited to see the change and hope that more silver coinage is increased.
I'd be happy to see the change. Because of it, I'm getting more money for being a Civil War veteran.
Along with this proposed idea, certain cases appeared in court and had many outcomes.
Through the Mon versus Illinois court case, monopolists can be controlled and I won't have to lose more money.
Yeah, this court case allowed a limit to my work hours. I'm so thankful for breaks.
Now that the government has control over monopolists, they can control us as much.
Through the Wabash versus Illinois court case, it allowed for state regulations in the Interstate Commerce Act.
What's the Interstate Commerce Act?
During this time of monopolists ruling the United States, railroads were one of the biggest factors in growing rates in American industry. Because of the rise in railroads, states had more power along with monopolists controlling each state at a time. The Interstate Commerce Act, which was passed in 1887, called for reasonable rates and also set up the first federal regulatory agency.
Awesome! Now railroad rates aren't ridiculously high.
I'm so happy that monopolists don't have full control.
Paper money had been issued by the federal government in the 1860s as emergency measure for financing the Civil War. Northern farmers prospered from the use of greenbacks, but creditors and investors attacked the use of unbacked paper money as a violation of natural law. However, Congress sided with the investors and passed the Specie Resumption Act, which withdrew all greenbacks from circulation.
We need more paper money in circulation. It's the only solution to our problems.
I agree 100%. Join the Greenback Party if you're with us.
When the hard times of the 1870s ended, the party died out, but the goal of increasing the amount of money in circulation did not. After President Garfield's assassination, people were outraged. Because of this, the Pendleton Act of 1881 was created, which set up the Civil Service Commission and created a system where applicants for government jobs had to get good scores on exams to get the jobs. This system started small, but eventually expanded to most federal jobs. This led to politicians depending on the rich to fund their campaigns.
I really want to get this federal job.
So do I. I better do well on this exam.
Let the best test taker win.
At the start of Cleveland's presidency, overproduction and overspeculation created a decline in the railroad companies. As a result, a depression lasted for 4 years and the stock market crashed. Multiple families lost jobs and struggled to survive, and businesses became bankrupt.
I can't believe the stock market crashed thanks to Rockefeller. What am I supposed to do? I'm just gonna stay out of it and see what happens.
Seems easy enough.
But Cleveland, what about us? We're losing our jobs and have no way to support our families. Exactly. I am in debt.
Seems like a you problem to me.
The Populist Party, consisting of Southern and Western farmers, was a movement supporting farmers because of the neglect from both the Democratic and Republican parties. They rallied in Omaha, Nebraska to establish a base for their new party and officially made William Jennings Bryan their nominee.
In this election, we will get our demands. We will get free coins of silver and paper money, and we will create a graduated income tax.
Yeah!
We will have election of senators and regulation of railroads and get rid of those monopolistic bigots. We will not be ignored anymore and pushed aside. It's our time. Yeah!
In 1896, Democrats disagreed between the gold and the silver debate, creating a rift between the two sides of the political party. William Jennings Bryan delivered the Cross of Gold speech, which was so moving that he was able to win more Democrats over to the pro-silver side.
The pro-silver Democrats need a strong leader to show the nation that we don't need gold for currency, we need silver.
This will only further our debt. We must get rid of gold.
Unlimited silver coinage! I don't support Brian and his free silver agenda. I'm voting Republican.
With his positive energy and compelling speech, William Jennings Bryan was quickly elected the Democratic nominee at only the age of 36. The election of 1896 was one of the most emotional in U.S. history, with William McKinley as the Republican nominee. McKinley and his friend Marcus Hanna, who was the financial power behind the Republican nomination, beat out Bryan and took office just as the economy began to revive.
Oh, William McKinley, the only reason you won was because those business leaders paid millions of dollars for your campaign with the help of Marcus Hanna, because they were scared of me and what I would do and what I would cause. Farmers don't look up to me anymore, and employees believe that their factories will close if I'm elected? It's all right. You took this one, but it's not the end, McKinley.
McKinley emerged as a very modern and active leader who made the United States become more vital in international affairs. He took America by storm. What does the future hold?